Salutations, kiddos. It's I, Jeremy, aka XLJ the OG, and welcome back to another edition of Colecast, the podcast for all of us. And on today's episode, we're going to continue our conversation with Savannah and B-roll on Saturday morning cartoons. And what we're going to discuss here is what are our all-time favorite Saturday cartoons on a segment you're going to get used to here on Colecast, or hope you're going to get used to. You're going to like it, trust me. A little something we like to call the Baker's Dozen. So what that is, well, the Baker's Dozen is our top list. And we don't do a top 10 list here at Colecast. No. We go big or go home. That's right. It's our top 13 list. So take it away.
That makes a Baker's Dozen.
That's right. So what is the Baker's Dozen? Well, the Baker's Dozen is going to be our top 10 list. But because of a top 10 list, we say fuck that. No, we don't need no top 10 list. Anyways, who wants to go first?
Are we going through the whole list, or are we...
Yeah, we'll go through each of your lists. Yeah.
Okay. Well...
You want to go, Mr. B-roll?
I can go
Since
first.
probably our target audience here is going to be mostly relatable to you, because I'm an old fuck. You go right ahead, good sir.
Alrighty. Like I said, I have changed this a couple of times as we've been talking, because I remembered even more. But I think I've got this narrowed down pretty good. I do have a list of honorable mentions as well.
I had some honorable mentions too.
I hope that's okay.
That is absolutely fine. Because we're on Colecast, and on Colecast B-roll, we do whatever the fuck we want.
We are sticking to the Baker's Dozen. This is in no particular order. I would say...
See, I did mine in order, but that's okay.
I would say these first two, I would say I would have these number 1 and number 2.
Okay.
From there, that's where it gets hairy.
Okay.
Trying to decide.
Okay.
Number 1, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Ain't mad at it.
Ain't mad at it.
So that was your favorite?
That was probably my favorite.
Interesting.
And I think part of that reason was, we talked about growing up with siblings, it was definitely the one show that me and my brother could both agree on growing up.
Okay.
I mean, we're talking, had a Power Rangers tent growing up, had toys, was like the Red Ranger like for 3 years of Halloween in a row. Loved Power Rangers. Number 2, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Aha, yes, preach.
And I feel like that's mostly because of the classic arcade Nintendo game, but, you know.
Yeah, and here's the interesting thing, is you kind of came into Ninja Turtles like later in life, but that's the thing. That's the thing, though. Ninja Turtles is kind of across the board for like these generational gap. And like a lot of people don't realize, man, that cartoon was on for freaking like 6 or 7 seasons. And I mean, you're talking about like, these seasons were long. It went like 24 episodes. Now some of them were shorter than others, but still, the point being, there was a shitload, and I mean a shitload of Ninja Turtle cartoons out there.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
indeed.
Now let me ask you a question, sir. If you are a true Ninja Turtle connoisseur, like you say you are,
putting me on the spot.
I am. Do you remember? And this was a pivotal moment as a child when they redid the Ninja Turtles theme. Do you remember that? So we were all used to, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because it was a classic, right?
Yes.
Do you remember this?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That's some bullshit right there.
Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Turtle power.
No.
Yeah, I can recall being frustrated about that as a kid.
All
right.
Why? But anyway, sorry, go on.
All right. Now, like I said, this is where it gets hairy. I would say the rest of these are in no particular order. Pinky and the Brain.
Pinky and the Brain.
Classic.
Good one.
It's hard to believe, if they ever would have took over the world, maybe we'd be living in a better place right now.
God willing.
Darkwing Duck.
Oh, Darkwing Duck was my jam.
Let's get dangerous.
Now, here's the thing. You know what really got me hooked on Darkwing Duck?
What got you hooked
Now,
on Darkwing Duck?
back in the day, do you remember like the Disney afternoon? Obviously,
Yes,
you
yes.
had your blocks and stuff, but like before a show would come on, the Sunday before, man, they took the very first 4 episodes and turned them into a movie, like a movie that was on.
Yeah.
And man, I remember that first with Darkwing Duck. He was going up against Taurus Bulba, the son of a bitch, who took little Goslin. Yes, Taurus Bulba was the son of a bitch and a highly underrated villain for Darkwing Duck. Everybody thinks Megaduck or Bushwhacked or fucking the Electro ripoff guy. What the fuck was his name? Livewire, asshole,
Yeah.
fucknut, whatever. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm sorry. I could go on and on, but Darkwing Duck's a good one.
Yeah. Classic. All right, now I don't know if either of you will have this one on your list. Gargoyles.
Oh,
remember.
man, Gargoyles was good. Now, keep in mind too. I will say this: some of these I think, and I've got that on my list too. Some of them I don't know if they were technically on Saturday mornings, but once again, this is Coldcast, and we do whatever the fuck we want.
Right.
So yeah, but Gargoyles was some good shit, man.
Yeah. So true story, fact of the matter. I used to want to actually legally change my name to Lex.
I thought you were gonna say Goliath.
No, and it was strictly because of Lex from Gargoyles.
Huh. And the cool thing about Gargoyles was it was like a comic book show kind of come to life. I mean, it was great storyline, and that was the thing too. Like what kept you watching, man, was like you got to see the next episode that plays tomorrow afternoon or whatever, you know.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Gargoyles. These are some good picks, my friend. I'm impressed.
Next on the list would be gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon.
Little Pokemon. So, I never got really big into Pokemon. I'll be honest, but I mean, I ain't mad at it.
You were a wee bit older though.
Yeah.
Because it came in the late '90s as a cartoon.
Yeah.
And went into the 2000s, I would say.
You got no argument.
And feel free to call me out if some of these are more 2000s than 90s.
It's cool. No, it's cool. It's all good because it's what you
What I
remember.
remember.
It's what you remember as a child. That's the most important thing. And once again, I can't reiterate. This is Coldcast, and we do whatever the fuck we want.
All right. This next one, I guarantee y'all don't have on your list. Well,
Okay.
Maybe you could, sir. Maybe you have it on your list.
Okay.
The Mighty Ducks animated series.
Oh, I remember.
That is a
Touche.
classic. I still, to this day, have some of the toys that you either... I can't remember what restaurant had it. It was McDonald's.
I was just thinking that. It was McDonald's. Happy Meal.
The little pucks with the heads on
Yes.
them. I still, to this day,
Preach!
have some of those. And I'll be honest, I still watch that show to this day sometimes.
You remember, and the theme song was pretty badass too. If I remember, like, "Here comes the Mighty Ducks, we're gonna fuck you up."
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, who does not like ducks that play hockey and then kick some serious butt?
Yeah.
This is a good list. This is
Okay.
a good, respectable list.
Okay, I'm glad. All right, next on the list, Batman, the animated series. And I am going to also dip into, and I think this is probably more of a 2000s. With that one, I'm going to also give a name drop to Batman Beyond.
Very nice. Batman Beyond was a good show.
It was.
Did you ever watch the movie? Like, oh, bro, the movie is where it was at. A lot of controversy with that movie. It was a little violent. Some stuff happened.
You know.
I don't want to spoil it for you. It's a good flick.
All right. This is one that we did name drop earlier. Sonic the Hedgehog series.
Sonic. I'm so glad. Okay, and I'm so glad you brought that up, right? Do you remember there was actually 2 different Sonic the Hedgehog cartoons on at the same time?
I honestly only remember one.
So which one do you remember?
I think it was actually called The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay, and that's the one that's most common. Yeah, you're right. And that, I think, was more so on the weekdays, but still, it counts. It counts.
We do what we want.
Because we do what we want. Now, as far as in the Saturday morning one, that was kind of the more serious one. And that was kind of the one I actually liked more of myself. But you want to hear the really fucked up thing about this is both shows had J.L. White, Urkel, voiced Sonic. And I guess it make it even more confusing. You know? But Sonic's a good pick. I like it. I'm going to make a chili dog for you tonight in your honor.
Oh, yes, sir. Now, this one was one of my favorites for sure. And once again, I don't know if this was more of a it wasn't really a Saturday morning, but this is one of my favorite cartoons. And it was owned by both Nickelodeon and Disney. Both have owned rights to this.
I think I know what this is.
This one was near and dear to my heart, and I'll tell you why. Rules were, when I got home, had a little bit of free time, then had to get homework done. Or had a little bit of free time. I was allowed to watch one show until it was done. And then I had to do my homework. So during that free time, when I got home from school, what was on every day? None other than Doug.
Oh,
I love Doug.
Doug was. I thought you were going to say Recess. Okay. But Doug was a good one. Yes.
Aww.
That was a good one. And the best part was, and I'm so story time here.
Yes.
Secret
we love
time.
story time.
Secret time. So I was supposed to watch one show, right? Okay, so let me key in on the fact of one show. Well, my parents' definition of one show was like, an episode, right?
Yeah.
Well, Doug played back-to-back episodes.
Oh, you smug bastard.
So-
you and your damn peanut butter waffles watching 2 episodes of Doug when you're supposed to watch one. No, I know you. You come home after school, and after school snack's a fucking toaster strudel, am I right? Or no, are you a Pop-Tart? I'm going to say you're a combination of both.
Combination of both.
I knew it.
Sure.
I knew it.
He knew it. Fucking knew it.
I knew it. I fucking knew it. Sorry, bro. Go ahead.
Fruit snacks when times got rough.
Yeah.
All right. Here's one that had to be on the list for sure. Animaniacs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, totally.
It's time for Animaniacs. Oh, yeah.
Classic.
That's a good one.
Next going on here, Inspector Gadget.
Oh, that surprises me. I did not know you were an Inspector Gadget guy. Now, tell me, what are your fondest memories of Inspector Gadget?
Inspector Gadget?
Mm-hmm.
I would just have to say it was just always so cool because he had, not to be cliche, but he had so many gadgets and it was very cool to the things he could do, and not to be boring, but I mean, like I said, that was earlier on as well. So I'm kind of going all across the board. Some were early, some were late childhood.
It's okay.
It's all across the board.
It's okay.
All right. And I realized I somewhere like halfway through this stopped saying numbers. So
it's okay.
we are now on to complete this baker's dozen.
Okay.
My last but not least, and I would have to mention this. It's probably one of my wife's favorite shows. One of my favorite shows. That would be Recess.
I knew it. I knew that was coming at some
Fucking
point.
knew it.
You kids in the late 90s, you loved that Recess. Everybody, I always talk about it. Because I can tell you, as a kid, I'm going to come out and be 100% honest, man. Recess kind of piqued my interest. I'm old enough at this point in my life, I don't need to be watching cartoons, but I was a little intrigued by Recess, and I checked it out. And I remember the movie. I remember, what was it, Recess, School's Out, or something like that?
Oh, there was like 3 movies.
No shit.
Yeah,
Huh.
there was Taking Over the 5th Grade, School's Out, and there's one where they're like younger. Can't remember what it's called though.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Now I have a few honorable mentions, if that's okay.
Let's get into those honorable mentions.
Okay.
Yes.
We will not take a lot of time to go over these because they are just honorable mentions, and they were really hard not to leave on the list. But first 2, I'm going to kind of group together because they were kind of very similar shows. That would be Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers,
Yes.
and Tailspin.
Yes.
Both for Disney, both for great. They just didn't make the cut for whatever reason.
Well, let me ask you this, sir. Did you ever play the NES games?
The Chip and Dale ones? Or Tailspin?
No, they both had them. Chip and Dale and Tailspin.
I think I remember playing Tailspin. I do not remember playing Chip and Dale, though.
Okay. I got you.
Now,
I feel you.
I will say Rugrats also has to be on there. It was hard to leave it off there. Another one that was hard was Bonkers.
Oh, I remember
Totally
Bonkers.
nuts.
And
Yeah.
last but not least, Transformers.
Okay.
The Transformers, I feel like, was kind of phasing out during
Yeah.
my era.
Oh, yeah.
I feel, at least.
Yeah, because you were probably more so like Gen 3 or 4 or something like that, Transformers. So, yeah. Did you do Beast Wars? You remember Beast Wars?
Oh, I do not.
Oh yeah, Beast Wars was aight. And that's all I got to say about that. Well, that was a good list,
Yes.
Mr. B-Roll.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Yep,
sir.
I was impressed. That was a nice combination of things across the board, And I just got to thinking about this. Do y'all remember the bumpers in between cartoons?
Yes.
They'd come on and
After these messages.
Yes.
Right back.
I wish they would still do that.
Yeah.
I did too, and they were really cool. They were really cool bumpers, and it was just like, oh, it's made for me, It's like, yeah.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Yes. There you go.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, the bumpers were really cool in between. You know what really cracked me up too? We mentioned this earlier, and I'm sorry, I've kind of jumped around a little bit in the timeline here, but the commercials that were like geared towards us kids and stuff, right? You had like the guys' commercials and the girls' commercials was way different. The girls' commercials was like
Pink and babies
Yay,
and Barbie.
soft
and tea
music
time
and I have Polly piss her pants. You need to wipe her. She pissed her pants and Polly pissed her pants. Made by Galoob. Shit like that.
Yeah.
And then like the boys, it was completely different. The boys was like radical music, like guitar riff, like it'll blow your fucking nuts away. Play with monster trucks in the dirt, guns, all sorts of crazy shit. Like it was just, and it spoke to us. It spoke to all of us. So
it was real.
It was real. We keep it real on the Coldcast, and that was real. All right, I am excited. I want to hear my lovely wifey's. What's your baker's dozen?
Okay, so my baker's dozen. This is all over the place. Because there's like random. Okay.
Oh, good.
Rugrats.
So is that like numero uno?
That's the one I remember watching
Okay.
over and over and
Okay.
over until I was
Right, man.
probably in my early pre.
Were you like Angelica growing up?
I don't know. I liked Phil and Lil.
I'm gonna say something,
What?
and this may offend some, and I'm gonna use some foul language here, like I haven't already.
Earmuffs, kids. Earmuffs.
Earmuffs. Angelica was a fucking cunt.
No argument.
And she was a bitch.
I
She
knew
was
you were
a
going to
bitch.
go there. I knew it.
Yeah, fuck Angelica. And you know what? Because Reptar, gotta have my Reptar. Yeah. Man, how many Rugrat movies did they make?
A
Like, there
lot.
was 3 at least.
Oh my gosh.
There was the Rugrats movie, there was the fucking
Rugrats in Paris.
Rugrats in Paris, and there was the Rugrats Meet the Wild Assberries or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Wild Thornberries?
Yeah, that's the one. Oh, see, now you're like, fuck, I forgot them on my list.
No. Oh, no.
Okay.
Despised that show with a burning soul
Oh.
in my passion.
But, the thing is, I only watched that show because of the Tim Curry character, the dad.
Yeah.
A lot of people
yeah.
don't realize that's Tim Curry unless you're really
It's like,
paying
hello,
attention.
Augie. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
Like, I remember that. I'm 34 now.
Yeah. So Rugrats is good. What else you got?
Doug. I love me some Doug.
Doug was good.
Yeah. Just random. The Tick.
Oh yes.
Rocco's Modern Life, which with
Oh,
the sexual
man.
innuendos and shit on that show, like I can't believe my parents let me watch that.
Oh my god, there was so many, and like that could be
Yeah.
another topic unto itself of all the cartoons, and mainly we talking Nickelodeon. Let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
But man, yes, Rocco's Modern Life was
Yes.
the shit.
Some of the things we were allowed to watch as children.
Muppet Babies. I love Muppet Babies. Not the new one, but yeah, the new one that they just made recently. Fuck that. Old school.
They made a new one?
Yeah,
You shit me.
Yeah.
I didn't know
they
that.
remastered it and made it like
They always
That's
always
that's a bunch of horse shit.
is.
remake it and they ruin the
and
classics.
they ruin it. And of course, TMNT is on there. My
Oh, yeah.
brother.
Of course.
Smurfs.
La 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 la, suck a dick, yeah.
Bullshit. Okay. Life with Louie.
Oh, I love
Oh,
Life
I
with Louie.
love Louie Anderson. Oh my god.
Hilarious show. I know, Brent, you're looking at me like, wait a minute, what's this? But check it out. Life
It's
with Louie's good. It's
hysterical.
really funny.
Bobby's World. Remember that?
Yeah, Bobby's World.
Classic Looney Tunes.
Oh, yeah.
Popeye. Now, with Popeye, like, there's two different versions that I remember. There's like the old school Popeye, and then they had the one like you were talking about earlier, like where they remixed it like 90s, like Popeye and Son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's true.
Tasmania. I fucking love Taz.
Down with Tasmania. Down with Tasmania.
Taz kicks ass. I love
Okay,
Taz.
if you were a kid in the 90s, like, Taz was your jam. I mean,
Yeah.
Taz was everywhere. Taz
He was like your spirit animal.
He
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
yeah. It was like, it was all about Taz, man. I'm telling you. And, like, it wasn't just, like, for us kids, too. Adults, too. They had, like, I got a bad attitude.
I'm an
Taz, I'm
asshole,
going to rip.
Taz.
Yes, exactly. I'm going to neglect my children. Fuck off, Taz. Okay, maybe not so that, but still. But yeah, yes, Taz. Taz was the dude with the attitude, yes.
And then Eek the cat.
Ah, yes, Eek. Yeah, that's a good list. That's a solid list. Yeah. Combination of 90s mostly, which is respectable and understandable. So, all right. I'm about ready to break it down to you. And I'm going to give you my baker's dozen. Now, I put mine in chronological order, okay?
Of course you
So,
did, you
'cause-
freaking nerd.
That's what I do. That's what I do. But first and foremost, honorable mentions. So, Life with Louie. That was a great one. I love that. Bobby's World, of course. Pro Stars. I mentioned that earlier. Camp Candy. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs was a kick-ass cartoon. You know why it was a kick-ass cartoon?
Because it had cars and dinosaurs.
Damn straight. That's exactly why.
That
So,
was purely a guess because I did not know that.
He had no fucking
and
idea.
then I've got the Incredible Hulk. Now, which Incredible Hulk could I be talking about? Well, let me tell you something. I'm talking the Incredible Hulk from the 80s that was on a NBC, I think, or something. And let me tell you something. As a child, the theme song, when it would come on, scared the ever-loving shit out of me. I'm not kidding you. As a kid, I'd be hiding on the couch. For some reason, my feet could not touch the floor, because if they did, the Hulk's fist would come through and punch through my asshole or something. I don't know why, but
Were you wearing the 3D glasses?
No.
Okay.
But seriously, when the theme would come on and you would see the video and shit, it was scary as fuck. All right, check this out. I'm cowering in fear, right? Like, this is little 4-year-old me, and like Hulk is just gonna come through the TV set and and beat the shit out of me. He's gonna pound my nutsack into oblivion for some reason. I don't know why. Just the same thing, like I was afraid of the ghoulies coming through and ripping my scrotum out. I don't know. That's another story for another time. But
Here he comes.
yeah, this shit, this is epic and scary as fuck at the same time. I mean, it's like, you're fucked, you're so fucked, 'cause the Hulk is gonna rip your legs off and shove them up your ass.
The Incredible Hulk.
I mean, soon. But yeah, man, I'm telling you, dude, it was just it was scary. That was a scary fucking thing to me, dude. So, yeah, Incredible Hulk gets an honorable mention, but I'm sorry, I digress. I tend to do that. You probably already noticed that by now.
Yeah.
But remember, this is Coldcast. And what can we do, kids?
Do whatever the fuck we want.
Damn right. All right. My baker's dozen. Starting it off. Gonna go with a little Tasmania, because we're going to down in Tasmania.
Yeah.
Down in Tasmania. Fuck you. Eek the Cat is my number 12. Because I loved Eek the Cat. And you remember, how she talked like this with a lisp. And he'd go and, bang his fat cat girlfriend and stuff. And she was, 5 times his size. She's like, oh, Eek! Yeah, great show. I totally sold you on that, right?
I was gonna go watch
Yeah,
it.
it's like, fuck, I'm gonna go watch Eek the Cat now. This shit sounds good. So yeah, Eek the Cat. Next up for me is Super Dave. Now, Super Dave was actually based off of Dave Osborne, the Super Dave. It was a ripoff of Evil Knievel, but the whole premise was Super Dave would get mangled and fucked up beyond belief, right? So that was That was a great cartoon. I loved. I mentioned this earlier. I obviously love me some Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa. Great cartoon.
I couldn't tell from earlier that you loved that show.
Good one. That was a good one, dude. It was good. Now, the next couple ones I've got here are they're live action, but man, I watched the shit out of them. Hey, Fern, it's Ernest. And the crazy thing is, you realize that was only on for one season? It was bullshit, but it won like a Emmy, actually, believe it or not. Just one season. Rest in peace, Jim Varney. We miss you. We love you. Pee-wee's Playhouse, of course, because Terry's a son of a bitch. Pee-wee. Remember the little jerk off, like the jerk off puppet with the fucking like freckles, the redhead son of a bitch.
Randy.
Fuck Randy.
Fuck that redheaded bastard.
He was a bastard.
But looking back at that show, don't you feel a little creeped out?
Kind of, but that was the beautiful thing of it too. It's like as a kid, I was
Miss Yvonne is a slut.
yeah, that goes without saying. But no, as a kid, I was pissed off. I'd come home, man, and I got like cracks and shit in my floor, you know. But yet it didn't come to life and talk to me. You know, it's like what the fuck? I got a shitty floor. It should at least talk back to me.
True
But no.
story.
No. But anyways, Pee-wee's Playhouse, great show. Number 7 for me, little Hulk Hogan's Rockin'
You
Wrestling.
hate Hulk Hogan.
And I do hate Hulk Hogan. This
But
is
he
true.
loves wrestling.
Exactly. And this is kind of where the seed was planted. Matter of
fact,
fact, I even had like a Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling, like the little jammies and stuff, like the whole
Aw.
match thing. Oh yeah, I was.
that's cute.
Yeah, and the whole premise of the show was pretty much Hulk Hogan and his buddies would go up against the bad guys, which was pretty much like they took the good
Say
guy
your
wrestlers with the
prayers.
bad guy
Take
wrestlers.
your vitamins.
Yeah, film sex tapes, brother. I didn't say that. So yeah, Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling, man, that was a good one. That was a good one. And like, oh yeah, you had the goodies against the baddies. So the bad guys was like Roddy Piper, the Iron
Yeah.
Sheik, shit like that. So my number 6 on my list is Garfield and Friends. Love me some Garfield and Friends. Am I right? Yeah. So Garfield and Friends was a good one. Top 5, folks. We're getting into it. The top 5 for me. Number 5 is Spider-Man. Bow, bow, bow.
Yeah.
This is the 90s one.
Yeah,
right?
that was hard to leave off my list.
Oh,
too,
man.
but-
You talk about a good show, man.
It was
Spider-Man. Oh, man. And great stories. And they did a lot of good storylines from the comics, too. But Spider-Man was awesome. I loved the Tick. The Tick was great.
See, I feel like the Tick, when I was growing up, was kind of phasing out. So I'm not surprised it was on either of your list and not on mine.
Yeah. The Tick was a good show,
It
man.
was.
It mixed like action with comedic.
Comedy.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It was good. It was some good shit. Number 3, Batman the Animated Series, and just one thing about that show, man. I mean, storylines and everything was great, but the music, the score was incredible. Felt like watching a movie every day it was on, and the animation was phenomenal on that, man. Oh my god! I mean, that's what really started it all for DC's like resurgence in the animated world. That's still going to this day, in a sense. So that's my number 3. So now we're getting down. Now we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Number 2 for me is going to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, come on, man. It's Ninja Turtles we're
Yeah.
talking about, you know?
I think, is that the first one we all had on our
Yeah.
list?
I think that's the one across the board's Ninja Turtles. And I mean, it's
Which-
fucking Ninja Turtles, dude.
Which you could even say even to this day, which, I mean, I think the ones they have on nowadays are crap, but to this generation of kids, I mean, kids to this day still like Teenage Mutant Ninja
Fuck
Turtles.
yeah.
Yeah, and there's so many different incarnations of it, but we got the OG. We got the best one. All right. Y'all ready for my number 1?
Number 1.
And I'm going to let you finish. But this was the best and greatest Saturday morning cartoon of all time. Of all time. Going with a little bit of... You got me a drum roll? No drum roll? Okay. All right, that works. My number 1 was... Fuck yeah! X-Men. Listen to this thing. Listen to it, man. And I want to go out afterwards and fuck shit up. I want to go conquer the world, right? I want to go fucking put Battletoads back in the goddamn NES and beat that son of a bitch. Of course, it never fucking worked, and I'd trade it back in and get another game that'll suck dick out. But still, I'm wanting to fucking try because of this fucking game. Woo!
This song can have you ready to run through a brick wall. You don't know what will.
I don't know what will. I don't know what will. Seriously. And I'm sorry I pissed the dogs off, but seriously though, man, that cartoon, I mean, not only the theme, but man, you talk about some great storytelling. And they used all elements from the comics. I mean, shit, I think it's the second or third season was Dark Phoenix or the Phoenix Saga, which is a epic story. They did the Mr. Sinister storyline. I mean, it just goes on and on. There was only like 6 seasons of that. But man, when it was on like Donkey Kong. So that is my baker's dozen, and I think that concludes our list. Yeah, so that was pretty much a stroll down memory lane. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I know from talking about this, we obviously went a lot longer than anticipated, but that's okay. We had a lot of shit to cover.
We are golden, pony boy.
That's right. So does anybody have any final and closing thoughts about Saturday mornings? No.
They were the grandest of times.
They were the best of times, and they were the worst of times.
Except they weren't the worst of times.
Not really, man.
They were the grandest
Kids
of times.
today don't know shit about fuck. And they never will.
Yeah, it's really sad because I mean, there nothing could beat that feeling of like getting up a Saturday morning, plopping on the TV, and just not knowing like you've got like the major networks have got all like your favorite shows on. It's like, which one do I watch? You know, which one do I watch?
Yeah. Well, we didn't even go into like what commercials we remember.
Oh,
like
yeah.
That's true. Well, I mean, we kind of
Kinda
touched
touched
on
on
it,
it,
but
but-
yeah. Okay, so in closing, because we got to wrap this up, like, what would you say was some commercials that stuck out to you?
oh, putting me on this.
Well, you're the one who brought it up, sir.
Yeah, that's true. Man, I remember there being a lot of food commercials.
Yes.
And, like a lot of McDonald's.
Yeah, McDonald's was fucking everywhere.
A lot
Yeah,
of
McDonald's
McDonald's.
owned everything.
Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut as a child was fucking glorious.
It was legendary,
Mhm.
and now it sucks.
It's
Sucks
terrible.
ever loving dick.
Indeed. Book it. Am I right?
Oh, bucket.
So let me ask you all a question. I'm putting this out here. Now, how many of you all turned into your teacher and said you read a book, but you didn't read shit?
True story.
Well, I actually love to read, so I actually did it.
Well, good for you.
I do love to read, but I wanted a pizza quicker than.
Well, if it doesn't have pictures, then fuck it.
Oh.
As a kid, that was my thought process. So, yes. But yeah, Pizza Hut, yeah, good time. What about some snacks? We'll talk real quickly on this snacks. Like, any snack commercials pop out to you?
This may dip into the 2000s a little bit, but like the fruit roll-ups, the fruit by the foot. You know, like the tattoos, like just the kids. The Capri Suns commercials
Oh,
Oh,
Capri
yeah.
Suns.
with like the
yeah.
ocean coming in.
Man, I'm telling you, as a kid, like I was scared shitless to have a Capri Sun because I didn't want to turn into fucking T3000 or whatever.
you know,
I'll stick to squeeze it. Give me my diabetes through that.
Sugar water.
Yeah.
I'll squeeze.
Yeah, no.
I'll have my sugar water through a phallic shaping bottle instead of like a fucking Capri Sun.
you know.
I'm just saying. You remember the little snack candies, like the gummies and everything, like had a tie-in, like you had
Fruit
different cartoons,
snacks.
fruit snacks. You know?
Yes.
Remember the shark ones?
Oh.
Yes.
And it was like the shark. Yeah, the shark ones was good. Those was delicious. Loved all sorts of fruit snacks.
We could go on.
We
and
could go on and on. Like, what about favorite toy? Favorite toy?
Like commercial or
Yeah, toy commercial, or just toy.
Ooh, toy commercial.
Jingle. Anything you remember sticks out? Let me tell you mine. Okay, one that sticks out to me was. Does anybody remember the Crossfire game?
Crossfire.
Yes, sing it, sister. You get caught up in the crossfire, crossfire. From Milton Bradley, motherfuckers.
I don't know. I remember always just thinking laser tag commercials were like the coolest.
Laser tag was cool. Yeah.
And there was probably a whole bunch of them.
Indeed. What about you, Savvy Savage?
I don't know, because, like, I think, boy toy commercials were more memorable. Like,
Yeah, they
all
were.
I had was just Barbie and baby dolls.
It was nice and pleasant.
Yeah.
The boy ones would, like, blow your ass away.
Yeah.
Like we talked about earlier, yeah.
All the girl stuff commercials would all just run together, be like the same thing, but like different.
Which kind of sent out some mixed messages if you really think about it, because it was like the girls' toys was all like prim and proper and take care of the children and tend to the kitchen and blah, 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 do all the housewife bullshit. And for the boys, it was all like, just like go out there and get G.I. Joe and blow shit up and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a double standard.
Yeah.
Not cool.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Girl power. So. Anyways, we have had a blast today, folks, going down memory lane. We all hope that you have too. And just, remember the good old days, if you will.
That's how you stay young. You remember the good old days.
And I'd say this, if you don't want to hop on Disney Plus or Netflix or YouTube or whatever your streaming service of choice of this and hop on there and stream some 90s and 80s cartoons or whatever your favorite show was, I don't know what's wrong with you.
You're a dumbass. No. Just kidding. No, I mean, yeah, man. YouTube, you can watch any of this shit. I guarantee you, every single random thing we talked about today, you could find it on YouTube. Guarantee you. So, that being said, I'm XLJ the OG. I'm B-Roll. And we be rolling out. We want to thank you for listening to this episode of Coldcast. Now go grab you some cereal, hop on the YouTube, maybe plug in the NES Classic and try to beat some of that bullshit. But they have Battletoads, then fuck you if you can beat it. I'm XLJ OG. We're out. See ya. Deuces.